And to kind of put that in perspective, I launched the podcast 8.5 years ago. And 8.5 years ago, I would tell people I had a podcast and then we go, what's a podcast? Now they roll their eyes and they go, oh, everybody has one, right? But the original idea behind the show was I wanted to interview entrepreneurs, pick the brain, figure out how to be a better entrepreneur. So then I can actually launch a business that was successful. And what ended up happening was 6 months before I launched the show, my mom lost her 20-year bout of opioids. And in that moment, it completely changed my thought process about life. It completely changed what I was focused on. And I ended up going into a 3-month bender where I was blackout drunk 6 nights a week, and really kind of finding that rock bottom moment. On the other end, to shorten this long story, on the other end, after finally sitting in my feelings and feeling the pain and, kind of coming out of this bender moment of my life, I woke up and I said, I had two realizations. One was my mom didn't die because she was an addict. My mom died because she didn't love herself. And the second piece was I also didn't love myself. And that's where my journey truly began, of really trying to discover, like, what is life really for? How do we dive into our purpose? How do we find happiness, even if things aren't going the way we want? And then that's really kind of what made that put life into my podcast.